Welcome back here to another video on the channel. We are playing Satisfactory, update 5. In the last episode, we were redoing the copper factory, which we're still in the process of right now. But in addition, we were about to install the catwalk system, power, all of that before we start bringing in additional pieces into redoing the entire temporary factory down below into a second temporary factory, which, it is what it is. Kind of end up making a few temporaries before you could start constructing your main base, although maybe not, maybe other people just go right into it. I just have never been able to sit on a factory for so long, and therefore I end up creating smaller ones, redoing them, especially as I get new materials, things like that unlocked. So we're just going to add the catwalk system in here just to make it look nice and pretty. And then similarly, I like maybe those two. I like having a center walkway if I can. And you'll notice that I build these completely out first, and then I'll go in and I'll edit where the crosswalks are. Okay, so we ran out of iron rods, which, hey, guess what? It's like we have an entire container full of them. Right there. And this is producing reinforced iron plates at a great level, which is awesome. Oh, that's actually right. I want that. Okay, and I actually do want to remove those, and then boom. And then same thing here. So I know that's like maybe not the most efficient for me to put them in and then remove them and then whatever. But if I stopped the zoop midway, just to pause there, like, I feel like that's more inefficient. And just like that. And then we're going to install a door there. And yeah, these doors might not line up with the other side, but that is okay. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I would normally build bridges like on both sides of this, but we should get power going. And the only reason that one's like that is because it's such a wide one, because there's like 4 screws coming out of it. Okay. So let's get power into this, which is easy because we already have a power line. And so I'm going to set it up in the center there. And the way I usually do this is I start with the constructors up like this and see what looks like a relatively straight line. And then I just connect from there. So those all have power now. Oh, we're out of cable. Oh, I Actually, I don't think I have cable in any of these boxes. Nope. But we were going in the right direction anyway. But even though we're building like a secondary, additional, temporary factory, it's still going to be super helpful for us because we can use the template to bring in some additional materials. Like for example, like that quartz, the Caterium, the sulfur, and potentially if we find a different node for coal, can all be brought in to expand the factory into more of a like a longer term solution, let's just say. This one's going to be weird because we have one constructor that's turned around, or two constructors that are turned around. So we'll just do that for them. And it's looking good. I'm not the biggest person on clipping, but I really appreciate if I can make the wires not clip when they're coming up. So yeah, this is how I typically wire up a base. And I don't have things like the new girders or any of that stuff, so just have to make do. Well, that could be an automatic. Is it on automatic? Now it is. Okay. Let's expand this because we know that we're going to want that wall to be like that. But might replace it with different materials or windows or something in the future. But for now. So we've got the one power line and that's good. When we start to tackle the actual mega factory, the mega base, then the big thing is I want like a control switch room to be able to shut off each individual type if possible. So we did this for a reason. We'll tackle that here in a moment. But next thing is next. And that is getting copper into those two belts. So the unfortunate thing is we have, well, we have a couple of hurdles. Number one, and let's actually just deconstruct copper. So we're going to use our trusty boxes here. And let's get screws in here. That we don't need. And we're going to very, very quickly run out of space because of this additional. So what we need to figure out is how do we get the copper, and I think I might actually just do the two lines straight this way over the iron. If we planned it better, we would have done copper on the close side first, and then iron on the far side, but we did not plan it better. And so we don't need all these constructors because the constructors are upstairs. And I don't remember if we made that completely 100% efficient, but if not, we're about to be. Well, when we get the Mark II belts in. Okay, seeing if we can do a little bit more mass deletion. I'm skeptical because I usually end up deleting like a floor or something like that that I didn't mean to delete, and that becomes a whole other problem. Yep. Okay, this and this we're actually just going to get rid of. We're not going to deal with them. Or actually we will. Because why not? Who cares where that gets hooked up to, because it is literally about to just be gone. Yep. Always happens that you delete a foundation. Always happens. Okay, I was like, I know you can like unselect something. Oh, look at that texture on that copper. It's looking good, huh? Just checking the time and the recording, making sure we're still running and not coming up with any issues like that one video where I recorded 0 audio. Okay. We're going to redo the power lines probably, and probably redo some of this belt work, because we need to get it into specific spots to jump over the iron, and then we'll probably end up doing something very similar. Sorry, I got an itch. For our concrete. I might actually do those lines on the close side. Close over here for power instead. Yeah, I think we're okay. Just go ahead and feed into it. Oh, we got 3. Wow, 3 coupons already? It's just a couple of videos ago that we... let's think about this. Yep. Okay. So I want... let's just go with conveyor mark 2s. And it's switched. Yep. Okay. That's going to be just our copper lines. And so we've got 2 copper lines, and we'll put them on this inside track. So is that good? That's good. Yep. Okay. Yep. And so then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And so I want to do, let's see, 2, 3, and then that is 4. Okay. And for that one, I want that to go like that. Then I want this to go to here. And, oh, I don't like that. And then like that. I don't like these belts, but I mean, whatever. At this point. That autosave is brutal. I might reduce the time on it. Okay, that'll be our 2 copper lines coming in. That's not the most pretty, but it's actually not terrible looking. It's almost like it was intentional. I mean, it half was. Oh, I always like start that first one, and I don't like one on the first one. Okay, copper ingot, copper ingot, copper ingot, and one more. Great. And then this is going to go on the outside because this one's going to be on the inside. This way. Sometimes it's really tough to see with the holograms. Okay. Is this going to be a straight shot? I think so. That's kind of awesome. I mean, it's a lot of wasted space down here, but it doesn't really matter. Temporary things are just temporary. That didn't go far enough. Ugh. Sometimes it definitely feels like the struggle is real. Okay. Oof. We ran out of plates. Alright, let's take our little shortcut up. We've got plenty of them on back stock. Don't forget all the machines in there are also back. Let's pull from this top one. I didn't reverse those to... Let's take these so we could start converting Mark IIs in when needed. I like the way that looks for now. We might have to do a second jump for concrete on this side. And then Caterium we could bring basically straight up into this. That's quartz. We could bring quartz, Caterium, and sulfur more or less right in. Like if we extend this out and then they just come up and in. Oh, that might be the plan. Alright, let's finish the line that we started up here. And also then we have to convert all of these to Mark IIs. So that's a Mark II. A lot easier to convert when... It's like easy to place it and then convert it after the fact if you need to. You just literally click and it's converted. So all of those are ready. I could do wall power on this, but seems excessive, so hence why I haven't. Okay. Now if we run our 2 iron, or oh, see? This is why I don't like doing mass deletions. Because look what happens. It's always something like that. Okay, let's see. I want them on these 2 tiles. So that means I need this one on the inside. That one on the inside, and then the other one on the outside. And then we've got our copper back up and running. I should align this slightly better. Okay. So let's take it from this side because it's sometimes it's easier to go backwards than forward. So that doesn't actually have any power. It's just backstock. And like I mentioned, I think we're going to flow from this perspective now, as not to impede any future. Okay, those two are flowing. This is good. We're good on those. Those are Mark 2s. Mark 2s, Mark 2s. Yep. Are these not set? Nope. Done and done. Okay. So we have copper ingots flowing, which means we should have copper plates, copper wire, and cable flowing here sooner rather than later. And the purpose of, oh, and we should, yep. So this one's not even a 120 line. Good to know. See what I mean about having lines maybe not completely there? So as long as that's a 129, oh, here's our first copper. What timing? This produces 30. So these need to be 120 lines. We went through all of those plates already. Something ran out? Iron plates ran out. Let's max that out. Bye. Bye. So these are temporary solutions that legitimately are just here to get rid of some materials. Okay, don't need that one. Screws are good. Just playing a little game of transfer here. Okay. So we've got our two factories, iron. Oh, look at this. Our first cable is, or our first wire is out. 2 lines of it. And then we have not seen the other one yet for why have we not seen the other copper? Okay, here it comes. Okay, that means cable and copper sheets are coming. And with those two, we've got more out of our copper factory than we've had before. And then next up is going to be concrete and quartz and caterium and sulfur. All the things. So the reason why I'm going to build this as like a what's basically called a bus. Okay? And then all of these materials are going to go into this direction. And then once we finish, I'm actually inclined to put concrete right here. Once we finish getting, well, actually I don't know if I can because I don't know if I have the space. But anyway, once we finish getting these materials all collected into one location, then we can start branching off and creating buildings that do this. But a building that does reinforced iron plates, one that does rotors, and one that does modular frames. Those are the ones we want right now. After that, we can concentrate on other things, like for example, we need to find a place to, well, once we get modular frames going, we need a place to set up a steel factory. Because right now we only have one coal node. Here we go. Wire. I bet this needs to be a Mark 3. Or Mark 2, I mean. I don't remember, but it's okay. I can go back and look at the ratios later. Or if you notice something, call it out in the comments, please. It'd be super helpful for me not to have to go back and do this, but look at that. Just like that, we've got copper plates coming out. No more handcrafting those suckers. I think these are 120 lines. I can't remember, but whatever. We don't have the materials for them anyway because this ran out of materials. It actually might be enough to upgrade the belt. Okay. And like these stalled, but it's just taking its sweet time. Like, what's going on over there? Is it just because the other ones aren't backed up yet? Yeah. There's plenty of wire on the belt. We've got a good backstock going. Well, look at that. We got ourselves a copper factory up and running. We've got modular reinforced iron plates going pretty quick, but that's out of just temporary solutions, which is totally fine. Also, side note, what does it take for rotors? I want to say it's, yeah, we should have just had that going also, huh? Screws and iron rods. I'm literally just going to set up one temporary one right here. And clipping galore, but whatever. Getting additional rotors doesn't hurt. Let me front load that with some screws and some iron rods. Okay, so we've got those two. Basically, we're eating up the resources that are in here, which is fine. We have such a backstock. The moment I start feeding these into boxes, we're going to have a whole bunch coming in because let's not forget that all of those machines are backstocked with 100 of each of these materials or 500 in screws. And so it is, we've got quite a bit sitting there just waiting Um, let's add a couple of more platforms here for Zupin, and then I think we're going to call it for this episode because we've got a lot done here, and in the next one we'll tackle concrete, and then start. Concrete should be relatively quick as we only have the one node so far, but we'll leave room for a second to come in, and then after that we'll figure out how to get the other materials in, quartz, deuterium, so on, to get the ball moving on those so we can expand our mini factory. I know it's a mini factory, but look at the scale of it, right? Like, this is our mini factory, which, like, yeah, it's pretty small. Let's be real, you know? Let's see how our awesome sink is doing. 3. Let's print it out. Let's get some new stuff. What were the ones that I absolutely wanted? Oh, I wanted, I like lights. That'd be cool. Customizer. Concrete walls. That's what I really wanted. Great. Concrete foundation material would be next, probably. I like all of these. That'd be so freaking cool. But this would be like for our actual factory. Like, that's where I'd put that stuff. And then fix it. You know, the vehicle would be good. I like that. I like those. I mean, I want all of this, but damn if it's not a lot. I don't care about that. I do care about these two. And I care about that. That one might be coming up next. I don't know. Oh boy, so much to buy. So little time. Well, thank you so much for watching. As always, I super appreciate every single view, every single like, every single comment. If you're enjoying the series, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you've got something to add as far as how we're building out this factory or anything like that, let me know in the comment section. I'm super open to additional feedback. Um, but until next time, I will see you in the factory. That's not going to be the normal going away line. Don't worry about it. That was bad. See you soon.